It's Tuesday, January 20th.
A resident was found inside the bathroom of the same fire unit, unconscious with severe burns.
An investigation is underway after a weekend fire in Hintonburg that claimed the life of a 70-year-old man.
As the federal public service gets trimmed, staff at 2 Ottawa museums are learning that some of their jobs might be cut.
Hopefully we can create some change in City Council.
A community group is calling for changes to OC Transpo, including free transit during off-peak hours. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now. Good morning. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello. Melissa is off today, so I got you covered on the weather front. And unfortunately, I have some bitterly cold news to share with you as we head into the weekend. But, Rosie, something that we love to see is there is some sunshine in the forecast. So it's a little bit of give and take.
I love that. I do love that as well. And it's great to see that the Rideau Canal Skateway is open again. So there's a plus side to all that cold. Absolutely.
Always thinking about the positivity.
There you go. Absolutely. We will talk about your forecast. But first off, your top stories. An update to the blaze in Hintonburg we brought you yesterday. Ottawa Fire has now confirmed that an elderly man has died.
2 firefighters carried the victim out, where another another truck had set up a medical sector where they were ready. They started CPR immediately. As soon as the victim was brought outside, they had oxygen ready and a defibrillator.
The resuscitation was initiated by the firefighter, was taken over by the paramedics who continued resuscitation efforts during his transport to the hospital, where unfortunately he was pronounced deceased later in the evening.
Crews responded Sunday night to an apartment fire on Armstrong, where they found a 70-year-old man in the bathroom of a first-floor unit unconscious with severe burns. Paramedics were later called back to the same location to treat a man in his 60s with smoke inhalation. The investigation is ongoing.
There will be layoffs at 2 federal museums right here in the capital as part of the federal government's plan to reduce the size of the public service. Officials confirmed the Canadian War Museum and the Canadian Museum of History are implementing staffing reductions due to the comprehensive expenditure review and to cover its own structural deficit. The museums wouldn't say how many jobs will be cut. The Canadian Museum of Nature said that there will be no layoffs at its location. Canadians spent more on groceries and eating out last month, according to Statistics Canada. The overall pace of inflation was 2.4% in December. Stats Can says the federal government's move to take the GST off some items for 2 months in mid-December of 2024 dropped prices for dining out, alcohol, and more. But with the tax holiday done, those prices rose this year. Some shoppers say the price increases at the checkout have changed their habits.
It's very hard to shop the way we used to shop. We just noticed the beef today. We haven't bought a round roast or a roast of beef in years.
There was some good news for motorists. Gasoline prices fell nearly 14% in December compared to December of 2024.
OC Transpo has faced its fair share of criticism from frustrated riders. Now, a new community group is hoping to address some public transit woes by making buses and trains free.
Top demand is to make the buses free in off-peak hours, all right? And the second top demand is to buy more buses. Those that are on the buses say it's too expensive, it's too unreliable.
The group, Free Transit Ottawa, held a launch party last night. The group would also like to expand the number of bus lanes, add 50 neighborhood routes, and reform the Transit Commission, replacing half with members elected directly by the public and transit unions. They estimate the changes would cost $125 million a year. The impaired driving trial for an East End Councillor got underway at the Ottawa courthouse this week, with Matthew Lilliff entering a plea of not guilty. An Ottawa police officer testified that he was arrested 18 months ago at his home in Orleans after driving back from Blues Fest and charged with 1 count of impaired driving and 1 count of having a blood alcohol content over 0.08 2 hours after operating a vehicle. The driver who called 911 to report the impaired driving also testified and says she saw Lilliff's Jeep swerving across the road and driving erratically, hitting the curb like a bumper car and almost hitting her. In court, the female driver said, quote, "It was terrifying the way he was driving," adding, "I could have been dead or paralyzed. His driving scared me." At least 2 other witnesses are expected to testify in this case.
After last week's storm, city crews are full steam ahead on some snow removal. As large snowbanks continue to line residential streets across the city, crews are working through neighborhoods to clear the buildup of snow.
So looking at the snow accumulation we have, the weather upcoming, we're probably looking at a 2-week cycle period to remove all the residential and arterial roadways in the downtown area.
The buildup is also raising concerns about access for emergency vehicles on some narrow streets. The city is urging residents to watch for snow removal signs, plan ahead, and be patient as crews continue their work.
The Sri Lankan family of an Ottawa man whose wife and children were killed in Barrhaven nearly 2 years ago have received permanent residency status. Danushka Wickramasinghe's father and brother came to Canada after the March 2024 murders to support him, and last year asked the federal government for help as they faced immigration challenges. An immigration lawyer tells the Canadian press both the brother and father had their applications approved. Wickramasinghe's wife, 4 children, and family friend were killed in a Barrhaven townhouse. Fabio de Zoysa pleaded guilty last year and was sentenced to life in prison.
Ottawa South MPP John Fraser will be the interim leader of the Ontario Liberal Party. The Liberal caucus has nominated Fraser to be the leader to replace Bonnie Crombie. Crombie resigned last week as Liberal leader after receiving tepid support in a leadership review last fall. The Liberals will announce details of the leadership race by February 9th.
That is not appropriate.
A pair of Ottawa Red Blacks swapped out their cleats for skates, hitting up the Rideau Canal and posing with fans.
Long snapper Peter Adjei and wide receiver Gino Lewis proving that their abilities as multi-sport athletes will continue on. Snow covered the canal skateway, but that didn't stop them from tearing it up.
Looking good. The Ottawa 67s having some fun in the comments, joking about adding them to the team's roster. Yeah. Right?
Hey, mate, you want some muscle on the defensive end or have a little bit of enforcers? I think the Red Blacks are the way to go.
So good. I love that. Getting out, enjoying the weather, even though it was kind of windy out there yesterday, blowing snow. But, man, just if you can, enjoy. Right?
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Especially this time of year. We have so many wonderful things right here in the capital, and if you got to just bundle up a little bit extra to enjoy the outdoors, that would definitely be my recommendation. Temperatures, though, are going to continue to fall, especially as we get into the weekend forecast. But we do have a nice trade-off. I know we haven't seen a lot of sunshine over the last couple of weeks, plenty of snow in the forecast. Now it gets a little bit colder, but plenty of sunshine to look forward to, which we'll see in the 7-day forecast. Today, we're right around what we typically see this time of year, nowhere near the record-breaking 7.2 degrees. Sundown at 4:52, but as of Monday of next week, officially beyond that 5 p.m. window. So something to look forward to, a little bit more daylight as the week goes on. Throughout the morning, though, still seeing a little bit of cloud cover, but mostly sunshine to continue on through the morning as we continue into the afternoon. What we are going to see, though, is a chance for some flurries through our Tuesday. Then as we get to Wednesday morning, accumulating maybe 2 to 4 centimeters of some snowfall. So the snow just keeps on chugging along as it has over the last couple of weeks. So a chance for some flurries, but then Wednesday, definitely expect at least a little bit of snow to continue from the morning into our drive home, maybe trickling into Thursday as well. The good news, though, as that snowfall starts to clear, we will see some sunshine in the forecast. Wind speeds picking up a little bit this afternoon, too, gusting around 40 to maybe 50 kilometers an hour. So if we are heading outside this afternoon, definitely bundle up, especially covering your face and getting those windbreakers on, because the wind speeds are going to be a little bit hefty as we continue to work through Tuesday afternoon. Starting to calm down slightly as we get through Wednesday morning, but the next few days is just a taste of what's to come. So as we take a look at some temperatures that are happening right now, it's feeling a little cold out there. Minus 22 in Pembroke, minus 18 in Ottawa, and this is before we factor in the wind chill. Trenton at minus 15, minus 12 in Brockville, so you need the full winter gear today, the full warm jacket, the toque, the mitts, if you're going to be spending a period of time outside that's longer than just the commute to the car into work or getting some groceries or what have you, because today's temperatures are going to be a little bit cool, maybe getting up to -6, but it looks like at the highest point will be around -9, -10. So Ottawa -10, -10 in Bancroft, Trenton -8 as well as Kingston, Cornwall at -9, -12 in Tremblant. So great for the ski hills, getting plenty of snowfall over the last couple of days, but temperatures feeling a little bit cold. In Petawawa, -10 degrees. So again, those temperatures feeling cold, but take a look at the next few days. So still a chance for some flurries, but those overnight lows start getting colder and colder. Thursday, a chance for some flurries dropping down to -18. Then as we get into Friday and the weekend, -13 is our daytime high, -27. It's going to feel like -35 when you factor in the wind chill. I would imagine we could potentially have some extreme cold warnings come into effect from Thursday into the stretch of the weekend, because the cold temperatures don't let up whatsoever. We do see the beautiful sunshine throughout both Saturday and on Sunday, but it is going to be a cold weekend ahead. As we take a look at the roads at this hour, nothing major to report. Everything looking pretty good. Chance for some flurries, but not a lot of accumulation over the next couple of hours, so everything should be quite smooth through your Tuesday commute. Now let's take a look at TSN's must-see moment.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. For it, we're taking a trip to the Windy City. It's the Jets and Blackhawks. Chicago power play here, and Oliver Moore shot deflects to Connor Bedard, and he is simply robbed by Connor Hellebuck. Bedard looking at the open net until the glove of Hellebuck arrives to steal that goal away, earning your must-see moment from Monday. That is a real nice grab. Meanwhile, tonight on TSN, it is early round play from the Australian Open continuing. Coverage begins 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a tremendous Tuesday.
Alzheimer's Awareness Month continues, and Your Morning Ottawa is featuring a new podcast called The Heart of It All that takes a closer look at aging and the particular care seniors and their caregivers need. That's coming up. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back. Taking a look at your forecast today. It's a very cold start. Right now we're sitting at about -17, but we are going to get up to a high of -10 today. Still well below our seasonal average of -6. Now we are expecting mainly sunny conditions this morning, and then we'll see increasing cloudiness into the afternoon with a good chance of a few flurries into the afternoon and into the evening hours. And taking a look at your traffic, just your usual, 6:15 a.m. Tuesday traffic. No major slowdowns to note at this time. We'll stop by Orange Theory Fitness in Barrhaven to chat about the unique programs they offer.
All right, we are at Orange Theory Fitness. Throughout the show today, we're going to highlight all the wonderful things that this Barrhaven location has to offer. Mark's joining me now, and I want to give people a little bit of an idea about what Orange Theory is all about.
Amazing. Thanks for coming, Will. Orange Theory is all about, it's a science-backed, technology-tracked, coach-inspired workouts. It's your 1 hour full-body workout, kind of your foundation for health. You'll get your strength training, your cardio all in that 1 hour. It's different every day, and you'll see results quickly. We guarantee them in terms of strength training, burning that fat, building those muscles.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so great, too, because it's a brand new year. People are looking for different ways to maybe increase their health and fitness, and Orange Theory is just a perfect way to do that, because not only do you guys have personalized programs for people to make them feel better, but it's a great social part of their day, too.
Absolutely. The community is huge. We know everybody. Nobody's a number here, right? We know everybody by name. Nice little community. Nice events going on, too. We actually have our Transformation Challenge starting in just a couple weeks now. now as of January 26th. So great way to see results, but do it in a community, be supported, yeah, that's what we're all about.
And you know, intimidation can be big for anyone starting this journey, or maybe they're just a new place that they're nervous about. What would your message be to those people? Because once you get in, then you get a taste and you realize, oh, this place is amazing.
Yeah, and we hear it all the time on the phone. Most people, they're a bit nervous. They don't know where to get started. Sometimes they know about their previous history and nothing's really stuck. It never really worked. And I've heard it from a member before. Actually, she worked here as staff, but she had done 40 classes in the past with Big Box, and she just celebrated her 400th class with us. So it's pretty exceptional. Great way to, all you guys do is show up. If you show up, you'll see those results.
Oh, I love that. Well, coming up a little bit later on in this show, we're going to put me in the test. You think I can handle it a little bit?
I think so. You'll be great, Will.
All right.
We got this.
This is the time we check in with the Morning Rush with Bill Carroll for his take on things. Now, this morning, something different. It's time for homeowners in Ottawa to complete their vacant tax unit declaration to prove they live in their house. Bill Carroll was struggling with his form and wondered, could anyone help him out?
Honey, can you help me with this? I'm filling out this vacancy assessment tax, whatever. I don't even know what it is. Every year I have to do this. I've already filled out my name. I got the address in here. What is attestation? Why doesn't the mayor come to people's houses? If he wants to know this stuff, he should come to your house and actually do it for you.
Hello, Bill.
Look at that. All right, I've been at this for over a minute. Okay, this is my personal time.
Precious time, Bill.
All right, so what do I do now? I put my name and address in there.
Well, you're doing great so far.
Okay.
All you have to do is say that, you declare all the information you provided is true and accurate.
Well, do I look like I live here?
You do.
Okay, so yes.
And you understand you might be asked to provide further information.
You understand I might not give it to you?
There we go.
Processing.
Submit.
How long is this going to take now?
Confirmation. Your declaration has been submitted. You're done.
That's
As simple as that.
That's
It
it.
takes seconds.
Honey, I did it on my own. Nothing to it.
Well done, Bill, with a little help, of course, from the mayor. Remember, you can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. Here's a live look from our sky cam on George Street. A cold start to your day, so bundle up if you are heading out early this morning. We'll be right back after this.
The most important part of any journey is to arrive safely. Hi, I'm Patricia Bowl.
And I'm Stefan Keys from CTV. Distracted or impaired driving can have devastating consequences.
Hey, it's Ashley.
And Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94.
Always plan for a designated driver, and please keep your phone down.
Everyone can help keep communities safe.
Drive safe. Brought to you by the Ottawa Safety Council. For more information on road safety programs and services, visit ottawasafetycouncil.ca.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
Everybody, today on Your Morning Ottawa, we meet an avid couponer who has managed to bring down her grocery bill significantly. So we're asking for your comments on what are some tips that you use to save money on groceries. Let us know your thoughts, yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. Rosie, do you got any tips for you that you...
I do.
Oh, well, let's go.
I've got two.
Nice.
I've got two. Don't go to the grocery store starving. Okay, because then you'll buy anything, right? You'll see all the sweets and the stuff that you don't really need, but because you're hungry, you'll just buy it. So make sure that you've eaten, you're good, you're calm, you're of sound mind, okay? Secondly, Flip. The app is really good. It alerts you to, oh, there's a savings here, there's a coupon there, it's happening here, there's a sale on butter, on salmon, at this store, that store, so you know where to go. there you go.
I think your first tip might be the greatest tip of all time, because if you do go hungry, you are getting things you don't need. Everything looks good at that point.
Yes.
And then you also tend to get the foods that maybe aren't the healthiest for you when you go when starving too. So have a little bit of food before you go. And I also think sign up for some of your favorite grocery stores or meat markets, wherever you like to go, because they'll send out deals. And I know you get inundated with so many emails, especially with everything we do right now, but you get some great deals. You know, it might be 20% off what you normally get each and every week with different brands and things. So I think keep on top of your emails as well, just to make sure, because if you're gonna buy it anyway and you can save 20, 25%, load up, freeze it, what you have just to save some money.
There you go. And what I like about the Flip app is you put in what it is that you're looking to save on. So it's not constantly flashing everything's on sale that you don't need. Because sometimes when I hear sale, I just go, oh, I want to go there. I want to get it. But it's specific to your needs, right? So you punch in, okay, look, I'm interested in meat, this guy right here, steak on sale, then we'll let you know that the steak is on sale and other items, right? So, so that really can help, but it's not easy.
No, it's not.
It's not easy saving money on groceries because everything is so expensive.
Yeah, and especially, like obviously, like you just said, like I have a lot of meat, so when there is a sale on something that has just continued to climb and got into the very dangerous category of how expensive it is, if you can have a moment where you can load up, like I said, freeze it on something you're going to buy over the next couple of weeks, months, you could save yourself hundreds of dollars over a few month period. Also, another tip on that is make sure you got room in your freezer before you buy it too.
Yes, this is true.
Because that's also important. You need a space to freeze it.
I wonder if people are using their groceries to their fullest. Because, there was a time when you'd kind of like throw things out because it got a bit stale and we really were a bit more wasteful. Now that things are so expensive, I'm wondering how good you're doing, right? Like, I'm using that cabbage down to the end because I need to save that money. I don't want to waste food. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
So like you, I make sure I cook things and then, okay, put that in the freezer. So I'm more mindful of that. Even fruit, something like fruit, which would go bad from time to time because I was like, I didn't get to it. Now I'm like, no, we're eating that.
And
there you go.
And the best before date compared to the expired date, I remember a few years ago was a big thing. Well, no, it's still good. That's just
still okay.
It's best before, but you just think so.
Yeah, just do the sniff test, right?
Yeah.
If it smells okay, it should be okay.
And also, it's a couponer that's coming out, a couponer, I think I said early on in this Tuesday morning.
That's all right.
You ever heard of some couponers?
Couponer.
Yeah.
That's okay. We know what you meant. We know what you meant, Will.
All right, we'll hear from you later on in the show. We were asking, what are your tips to save some money on groceries? Rosie had a couple of good ones. I'm just freezing all my meat.
There you go.
Email us yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, if you are shopping around for a mortgage, Frank Napolitano from Mortgage Brokers Ottawa shares the most common mistakes that some people will make. He joins us later on in the show. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Thanks so much for starting your day with us. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello. Melissa is off today, so I get you covered on the weather front. We're also headed to Orange Theory throughout the show, getting a little bit of taste of some active fitness lifestyle, especially as we enter this brand new year. And I know that you and me, we need it in our lives.
It's important.
And it's so great to have that community base, so we'll continue to highlight that throughout the show.
Looking forward to that. All right, we're going to start off with your top stories. An update to the blaze in Hintonburg we brought you yesterday. Ottawa Fire has now confirmed that an elderly man has died.
2 firefighters carried the victim out, where another another truck had set up a medical sector where they were ready. They started CPR immediately as soon as the victim was brought outside. They had oxygen ready and a defibrillator.
The resuscitation was initiated by the firefighter, was taken over by the paramedics who continued resuscitation efforts during his transport to the hospital, where unfortunately he was pronounced deceased later in the evening.
Crews responded Sunday night to an apartment fire on Armstrong where they found a 70-year-old man in the bathroom of a first-floor unit, unconscious with severe burns. Paramedics were later called back to the same location to treat a man in his 60s with smoke inhalation. The investigation is ongoing.
There will be layoffs at 2 federal museums here in Ottawa as part of the federal government's plan to reduce the size of the public service. Officials confirm the Canadian War Museum and the Canadian Museum of History are implementing staffing reductions due to the comprehensive expenditure review and to cover its own structural deficit. The museums wouldn't say how many jobs will be cut. The Canadian Museum of Nature, though, said that there will not be layoffs at its location.
Canadians spent more on groceries and eating out in December. According to Statistics Canada, the overall pace of inflation was 2.4% last month, but the cost of restaurant meals increased 8.5%. The cost of food brought from grocery stores rose 5%. Frozen beef up 16.8%, while potato chips and other snacks increased 7.9%. Some shoppers say the price increases at checkout have changed their habits, while others have been able to stomach it for now.
We don't go out to restaurants anymore unless it's just for breakfast once a month.
Yeah.
And people like my brother sometimes bring us groceries.
So how has it changed your habits?
Hasn't.
Okay.
Look at me. I'm eating real regular.
The December inflation figures were released just over a week before the Bank of Canada makes its first interest rate decision of the year. That comes next week.
Prime Minister McCartney and the Canadian delegation are in Davos this morning to pitch Canadian investment that's hoping as global tensions lurk the background.
What people would want to see from Canada is talking to our allies, which we're doing, and making sure that we adopt the principled position.
U.S. President Donald Trump is set to speak to the forum tomorrow. Reports say he wants to hold a signing ceremony at Davos for his Gaza Board of Peace, which may include Russian President Vladimir Putin. Minister Champagne says Canada is weighing its invitation but won't pay to join. Prime Minister McCartney will meet with French President Emmanuel Macron later this morning.
Full solidarity with Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark. The sovereignty and integrity of that territory is non-negotiable.
The president of the European Commission pledged support for Greenland during a special address at the World Economic Forum this morning. It comes as U.S. President Donald Trump says only the U.S. can protect Greenland.
Well, I don't think they're going to push back too much. Look, we have to have it. They have to have this done. They can't protect it.
President Trump says he plans to speak with European leaders about Greenland at the World Economic Forum. He also shared a text from French President Emmanuel Macron. It says, "We are totally in line on Syria. We can do great things in Iran. I do not understand what you are doing on Greenland."
The big cleanup is underway after more than a foot of snow blanketed Ottawa over the past week. The city has begun operations to remove those massive snowbanks as motorists try to navigate the narrow roads. And for some, confusion over snow removal signs might be adding to the frustration.
When you see us put signs out that are yellow for daytime removal on a day, it means that snow is going to be removed the next day. And then when you see the red signs go up that day, it's happening that night. So we're always looking at like a 24-hour moving window when we go through there.
Until the snowbanks are gone, residents are being asked to watch the signs and plan ahead.
The Ottawa Hospital Foundation says it has reached a significant milestone in fundraising efforts to help build a new civic campus on Carling Avenue.
The foundation has raised $396 million out of their $500 million goal, meaning they are nearly 80% there. The original price tag was expected to be $2.8 billion, with the new hospital opening in 2029. But the design of the hospital, the cost, and construction timeline is not finalized.
And in that period of November, December, we had more than 6,000 individuals make donations to this campaign. There are elements of this new hospital that the government doesn't fund, specifically all of the equipment, all of the technology and innovation that goes in this new hospital has to be funded by the hospital. That's where philanthropy comes into play.
It also is not clear if the City of Ottawa will contribute $150 million in taxpayer dollars, which was originally proposed back in 2022. But phenomenal progress when you see that number, Rosie. We're 80% already accumulated.
80%. Such generosity and really well needed.
Yeah, definitely, especially here as we have the shortage of doctors. We've been seeing the wait times at the hospitals. Queensway Hospital last week, the average wait time around 13 hours to see a doctor. So definitely troubling times. So nice to see that we might have some relief on that end.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk about the forecast, Will. What can we see? Do we have some relief as far as, well, the snow? And I think it's quite cold out there right now. Any relief there?
Yeah, definitely. Stephen, a nice colleague of ours, confirmed to me moments ago that, yep, it's still cold out there as he went to go move his vehicle. So temperatures continuing to feel cold, but this is just a taste of what we can expect as we head into the weekend. But there'll be a nice trade-off. We are going to lose some of that snowfall, and the cold is going to start getting a little bit worse, but the sunshine will reappear. So here's a look at this morning. Still mainly sunshine continuing on to this afternoon. Still a chance for some flurries early on this morning, and then colder temperatures to arrive, especially as we get into Friday into the weekend. Overnight lows getting close to -30 before we factor in the wind chill. So this weekend, I think it might be an inside weekend. Or if we do head outside, you need to bundle up in full. So still a little bit of cloud cover with a chance for some flurries early this morning and continuing on this afternoon, but we are still seeing plenty of sunshine here in the capital throughout the afternoon window. As we get to Wednesday morning, we start to see the chance for some precipitation return into the forecast. And because of these temperatures, not a messy mix, not rainfall, we're just seeing some snowfall, maybe 2 to 4 centimeters from Wednesday morning continuing through the day as it starts to lighten up through the evening window. And then that sunshine will be making a return into Thursday afternoon. So over the next couple of days, still seeing just a little bit of snowfall in the forecast. And throughout the day today, those wind speeds are expected to get to 40, maybe 50 kilometers an hour. So with the just slightly below seasonal temperatures we're going to see this afternoon, mixed with those stronger wind speeds, it will be a little bit colder out there. So just bundle up, especially in the neck and face area as those winds continue to pick up. As we get through the evening window and cruise through Wednesday, though, wind speeds start to calm down a little bit. But then we have the trade-off as those temperatures start to drop. Temperatures right now, -18 in Ottawa, -22 in Pembroke, Kingston at -15. We're at -14 in both Montreal and Cornwall. Temperatures are going to be like this afternoon. So this is the warmest that we're going to see through our Tuesday afternoon window. -10s in Pembroke and Ottawa. Cornwall just a little bit warmer at -9, as well as Brockville and Kentville. Temperatures again around seasonal, a little bit below this afternoon. Petawawa at -10, Tremblant -12 degrees. Tremblant in full cheering mode with all the snowfall we've seen over the last couple of days. If we do hit the slopes today, especially planning into this weekend, again, we will need all of the layers, because here's a look at the 7-day forecast. So over the next couple of days, still a little bit cloudy with a chance for some flurries. Overnight lows started getting much colder, especially Thursday night. And then Friday, -27. It's going to feel like -35 degrees when you factor in the wind chill. Then we have a trade-off. The clouds say goodbye. The sunshine says hello, but temperatures get much colder, especially on the day side. So Saturday's warmest daytime high is going to be -19 degrees, even Sunday -17, so a bitterly cold weekend ahead.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
And out on your roads on your Tuesday morning commute, everything's still moving quite smoothly this morning. Just seeing a little bit of traffic buildup, but again, the crews are out working, clearing all of that snowfall in residential neighborhoods. So leave yourself a little bit of extra time and just be aware of when they're cruising through. Some of the streets still looking a little narrow this morning.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
Struggling to keep your grocery spending in check? Well, you're in luck. Today, we are bringing you an avid couponer and someone who has managed to bring down her grocery bill. She joins us for our Beat the Bills week. That's coming up next. Here's a live look through our sky cam on this very cold morning. -18 right now. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back. Here are the big stories happening today on Your Morning Ottawa. An update to the blaze in Hintonburg we brought you yesterday. Ottawa Fire has now confirmed that an elderly man has died. More job losses in the federal public service. 2 museums in Ottawa say there will be staffing adjustments. A new community group is hoping to address some public transit woes by making buses and trains free during off-peak hours. Now, a check on the forecast.
Oh, Rosie, what we're about to see, I know it might feel cold, but this is the warmest it's going to get over the next few days, because then we are into a cold stretch. Still a chance for some flurries this morning, but we're seeing some sunshine this afternoon. Wednesday, maybe 2 to 4 centimeters during the day, another couple overnight. As we get to Thursday, overnight lows start getting colder, and that is the warmest daytime high that we will see for at least 7 to 10 days. Take a look at the roads at this hour. Starting to see a little buildup on the 417 west end, and a warning tonight if you are traveling to the Toronto area to be on the lookout for counterfeit bills that are continuing. Oh, that's actually not right now. We're going to get back to the roads as we continue to look at the snowfall, maybe accumulating over the next couple of days with the frigid temperatures. What you're going to want to make sure you do is have plenty of windshield washer fluid in your cars, because as those temperatures have big swings and we could see the messy mix, we want to make sure visibility is at its highest. And now a warning tonight if you are traveling to the Toronto area to be on the lookout for counterfeit bills circulating in the city. Police say the criminals have produced fake 20s and 50s, but now more fake $100 bills are adding to the equation. CTV's Pat Foran explains.
Trailers Ontario has 4 locations in the province selling cargo trailers for various applications. A customer recently bought one at their Mississauga site and paid for it in part with counterfeit money.
When did you find out that the cash was counterfeit?
First thing Monday morning.
Owner Nadir Virgie says the customer wanted to pay for the trailer in cash.
A customer came to us last week, purchased a trailer for $12,200, and he ended up slipping in $6,200 in counterfeit money.
Frustrated he'd been scammed out of $6,200, Virgie called Peel Police. They're continuing to investigate, but the man who handed over the cash was not arrested, as he said he got the fake $100 bills from someone else when he sold a trailer.
The police told me that it is a civil matter since he paid half in legitimate currency and half in fake currency.
To avoid counterfeit money scams, avoid large cash transactions if possible. If a cash payment is required, complete the transaction at a financial institution. Do not accept money you believe may be counterfeit, and do not attempt to use counterfeit currency, as it's a criminal offense.
They seem to be a bit on the rise right now, especially with, as is always the case, the larger denominations, the $100 bills.
Toronto police say they've noticed a huge increase in fake bills since the beginning of the year.
We've already seen almost $50,000 in counterfeit money that's been turned in and that's been reported to us.
Feel, look, and flip.
For more information on spotting counterfeit notes, you can check the Bank of Canada's website.
Tilt the note to make sure the metallic portrait and building change colors.
As for Virgie, he's frustrated he may have to go to small claims court to get his money back. He says his company is now taking more steps to try and spot counterfeit currency.
We did purchase money counters right now for all our locations, and I've told my entire team to double check every bill.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
On today's Your Morning Ottawa, we meet an avid couponer who has managed to bring down her grocery bill significantly. So we asked for your comments on what are your tips to save money on groceries, and here's what some of you had to say.
Andrea says, I use the Reebie app to search for my usual products to see where it might be on sale. Price matching helps too, and to avoid food waste, only buying as required, so it might be a few trips to the grocery store per week, and definitely not going to the grocery store hungry. There it is, Rosie.
There you go. Muriel says, I do the same as Rosie. I use the Flip app as well. Every week, check the specials at all stores.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey, and look at this. Another member, Danielle, says we use the Flip app and go to each grocery store and get the special. If it's a good special, we buy a lot, like chicken or beef.
Okay.
I take anything that says free. I use my points with my PC card. With points, I get free food. Anything helps.
Darlene says, for me, stock up when things are on sale and freeze them, like Will says. For produce, stick to seasonal items as they tend to be less expensive, or better yet, grow your own and freeze so you can enjoy them all year round.
And Brandy, finally for us, says, I just buy what's on sale. Nice into it.
Smart. All right, we're going to be hearing from you a little later on in the show. We can keep this conversation going. We are asking, what are your tips to save money on groceries? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. Here's a live look from our Skycam on George Street. We'll be right back.
What makes your community special? Join us next week for Your Neighborhood, showcasing the people and places that make the National Capital Region shine.
Your Neighborhood on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for your morning fix, and we're starting off with Prince Harry, who was in court yesterday, kick-starting his legal battle against the publisher of the British tabloid, the Daily Mail. So Harry is one of the 7 high-profile plaintiffs who have accused the publisher, Associated Newspapers, of engaging in types of criminal activity to obtain information about them. The claims include allegations of planting listening devices and recording private phone calls. The publisher has denied any wrongdoing. Other plaintiffs include Elton John and actors Elizabeth Hurley and Sadie Frost. The trial is expected to last 9 weeks.
Wow.
I mean, wait to see what comes from this, but I mean, with them denying any allegations of any of this, but then if they have, there must be some sort of proof, so.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will be watching this one closely.
Yeah, and I always feel that Harry is in court quite a bit, right? Defending himself against some of these newspapers, but now with other celebrities at hand, I wonder if it gives him a little bit of relief, like he's not by himself, there are other people making those same claims, so, you know, wishing the best that he and his family can move forward. I feel like they just need to get over this and then just be a family and, oh my gosh, live your life.
It's always something, right?
Yeah.
And it's something that's like intrusive in their lives. Yeah, to your point, hopefully they can move on from that.
Yeah. Former late-night host David Letterman is bringing his comedic takes on life to Just for Laughs in Vancouver. The festival says it'll be his first time performing in Canada since 1978. Letterman is set to appear on stage for an evening with David Letterman and special guest Zach Galifianakis on February 18th at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre in Vancouver. The 78-year-old comedian hosted The Late Show from 1993 to 2015. Okay, that'll work, because Zach Galifianakis is crazy.
I know.
He's so unpredictable, and you just say something to him, throw a word out, and he'll make it funny. So the two of them together, I think that'll be quite the night.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You know, like with their two personalities, they play so well off each other. With Zach's, I don't know if you want to call it, just his improvisation and like how he goes off, and Dave will just laugh. That'll be a great duo.
I wonder if he still has that show Between Two Ferns. It's like a mock talk show, and he would have all his celebrity friends on, and half the time they'd end up in a fight, like him and Bradley Cooper. It was like just crazy stuff. That'll be fun. I don't think he'll be fighting with David Letterman, though.
I don't think so. And the bloopers from Between Two Ferns, those are the best part, where they try to keep a straight face when they can't.
Him and Brad Pitt. Anyway,
so good.
Watch that. It's really funny stuff.
Well, vocal critics of U.S. President Donald Trump will perform at the Super Bowl's opening ceremony next month. I mean, what a tune. Green Day is coming home and bringing its energetic punk rock sound to the football field. The NFL announced that the rock band, which performed in California's East Bay in 1987, would kick off the upcoming Super Bowl with a rocking opening ceremony.
Green Day's still doing their thing. Good for them.
They're still selling out their shows.
Yeah.
It's funny, right? I mean, obviously, on this show, if you haven't been watching, I'm a huge pop punk fan, punk rock fan. And it's like having a resurgence. So they're still holding strong.
That's good. That's all good. All right, coming up in the next hour, we tell you how one retired couple decided to make a dream come true by opening a gift shop in a unique space. Alzheimer's Awareness Month continues, and we feature a new podcast called The Heart of It All that takes a closer look at aging and the particular care seniors and their caregivers need. We introduce you to an Ottawa tarot card reader who specializes in tarot readings at events and parties. She doesn't use tarot cards to predict the future. Instead, she uses the cards to tell stories. Okay. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. A cold start to your day. Will, it's like minus 18 right now?
Yeah, feeling like minus 23 Woo! With the wind chill.
We'll be right back. It's Tuesday, January 20th.
A resident was found inside the bathroom of the same fire unit, unconscious with severe burns.
An investigation is underway after a weekend fire in Hintonburg that claimed the life of a 70-year-old man.
As the federal public service gets trimmed, staff at 2 Ottawa museums are learning that some of their jobs will be cut.
The impaired driving trial is underway for an Ottawa City Councillor. Matthew Luloff has pled not guilty. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Good morning, just after 7 o'clock. Thanks so much for starting your day with us. I'm Rosie Edda.
Yeah, happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm Will Yellow. Melissa is off today, so we got you covered on the weather front, on the news front, plus a little bit of way to save some money in a segment coming up later on the show, too.
Looking forward to that. But first off, we're going to get started with today's top stories. An update to the blaze in Hintonburg we brought you yesterday. Ottawa Fire has now confirmed that an elderly man has died.
2 firefighters carried the victim out, where another another truck had set up a medical sector where they were ready. They started CPR immediately as soon as the victim was brought outside. They had oxygen ready and a defibrillator.
The resuscitation was initiated by the firefighter, was taken over by the paramedics who continued resuscitation efforts during his transport to the hospital, where unfortunately he was pronounced deceased later in the evening.
Crews responded Sunday night to an apartment on Armstrong where they found a 70-year-old man in the bathroom of a first-floor unit, unconscious with severe burns. Paramedics were later called back to the same location to treat a man in his 60s with smoke inhalation. The investigation is ongoing.
There will be layoffs at 2 federal museums here in Ottawa as part of the federal government's plan to reduce the size of the public service. Officials confirmed the Canadian War Museum and the Canadian Museum of History are implementing staffing reductions due to the comprehensive expenditure review and to cover its own structural deficit. The museums wouldn't say how many jobs are going to be affected. The Canadian Museum of Nature said that there will be no layoffs at its museum. Canadians spent more on groceries and eating out last month, according to Statistics Canada. The overall pace of inflation was 2.4% in December. StatsCan says the federal government's move to take the GST off some items for 2 months in mid-December of 2024 dropped prices for dining out, alcohol, and more. But with the tax holiday done, those prices rose this year. Some shoppers say that the price increases at the checkout have changed their habits.
It's very hard to shop the way we used to shop. We just noticed the beef today. We haven't bought a round roast or a roast of beef in years.
There was some good news for motorists, though. Gasoline prices fell nearly 14% in December compared to December of 2024.
OC Transpo has faced its fair share of criticism from frustrated riders. Now, a new community group is hoping to address some public transit woes by making buses and trains free.
Top demand is to make the buses free in off-peak hours, all right? And the second top demand is to buy more buses. Those that are on the buses say it's too expensive, it's too unreliable.
The group, Free Transit Ottawa, held a launch party last night. The group would also like to expand the number of bus lanes, add 50 neighborhood routes, and reform the Transit Commission, replacing half with members elected directly by the public and transit unions. They estimate the changes would cost $125 million a year. The impaired driving trial for an East End councillor got underway at the Ottawa courthouse this week, with Matthew Luloff entering a plea of not guilty. An Ottawa police officer testified that he was arrested 18 months ago at his home in Orleans after driving back from Blues Fest and charged with 1 count of impaired driving and 1 count of having a blood alcohol content over 0.08, 2 hours after operating a vehicle. The driver who called 911 to report the impaired driving also testified and says she saw Luloff's Jeep swerving across the road and driving erratically, hitting the curb like a bumper car and almost hitting her. In court yesterday, the female driver said, quote, "It was terrifying the way he was driving," adding, "I could have been dead or paralyzed. His driving scared me." At least 2 other witnesses are expected to testify in this case.
After last week's storm, city crews are full steam ahead on the removal. As large snowbanks continue to line residential streets across the city, crews are working through neighborhoods to clear the buildup of the snow.
So looking at the snow accumulation we have, the weather upcoming, we're probably looking at a 2-week cycle period to remove all the residential and arterial roadways in the downtown area.
The buildup is also raising concerns about access for emergency vehicles on some narrow streets. The city is urging residents to watch for snow removal signs, plan ahead, and be patient as crews continue their work.
A winter storm south of the border causing treacherous driving conditions and leading to a massive pileup. This drone footage was taken near Grand Rapids, Michigan. Authorities say about 100 vehicles, including dozens of semi-trucks, were involved in the crash. Whiteout conditions may have played a role. If you are already sick of the cold winter weather, you can look forward to summer with Environment Canada forecasting a hot one. The weather agency says 2026 will be among the hottest years on record, and that the period from 2026 to 2030 will likely be the hottest 5-year period on record in Canada. It's called The Greatest Show on Snow.
Ski Joring is back at Banff as part of its annual Snow Days Festival. For people who don't know, ski joring is a mix of horse riding and skiing.
This is the 4th year Banff has hosted the event, and it's been a hit every time.
Oh man, so much fun. Well, we got your weather picture of the day, and this is Brent in from, oh, we don't have a weather picture of the day, or we don't have the info for, but it is a happy owl, which what more could we have this? Andre sent this in. You know what? We always need a little bit of laughter on this Tuesday. Sent in, and of course, a little bit of snowfall in the background.
Weather picture brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
Thanks again, Andre, for sending that in. If you have a weather photo, we want you to share it with us. Email us weathershots@ctv.ca, and we will be sure to get that on air. Taking a look at the forecast over the next few days. So it's definitely cold this morning, but temperatures are going to continue to get colder and colder, especially as we get Friday through Sunday. Overnight lows creeping up to -30. Before we factor in the wind chill. We'll take a look at that momentarily. Let's take a look at our almanac through the day today, because normally our average high is around 6, -6, 6.5. Today, potentially getting up to -6, but it looks like we could maybe now only get to about -9, -10 degrees. So a little bit of a below seasonal day. The trade-off, we will see a lot of sunshine continuing on late this morning, continuing into the afternoon, and then plenty more where that came from. The trade-off, though, as we get to Friday and Saturday, the sunshine returns in full, but temperatures get bitterly cold, way below seasonal. Maybe some extreme cold warnings coming into place later this week. Snowfall, maybe a chance for some flurries arriving this afternoon, but still seeing plenty of sunshine throughout the day. Then as we get overnight and roll through the day into Wednesday, that's when a little bit more snowfall works its way back into the forecast. Maybe getting about 2 to 4 centimeters through the day, and then another couple overnight. So maybe 2 to 6 centimeters from Wednesday morning, continuing as we get to Thursday morning. Then the sunshine reappears, and bundling up will be the #1 priority. Wind speed still a little bit hefty over the next day or so, about 40 to 50 kilometers an hour. They start to lose some strength as we get to tomorrow. So the snowfall arrives and the wind speeds start to damper down a little bit, which is a nice trade-off. Reduced visibility out on the roads through the day today. and then calmer wind speeds as we roll through Wednesday. Take a look at conditions, though. Right now, it is cold out there. Minus 24 in Pembroke, minus 18 in Ottawa, minus 14 in Montreal. Cornwall, minus 15 degrees, but this is just a small taste of what's to come as we approach the weekend forecast. So minus 10 this afternoon for our recess folks. So if we haven't packed the mitts, the toques, all the winter gear, make sure we have that loaded on through the day today because temperatures are going to be on the cooler side. Daytime high values. This is the warmest that we'll get this afternoon for many areas. So minus 8 in Trenton, double digits in Pembroke at minus 10, as well as Bancroft and Ottawa. Brockville at minus 9, as well as Cornwall. As we take a look at some other temperatures for our daytime highs, Petawawa at minus 10, Gatineau minus 10, and Tremblant loving all the snowfall over the last week or so. Ski hills are in wonderful condition. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. Everything starts to change, so a little bit cloudy, then the sunshine reappears this afternoon. Temperatures not too bad. These single digits we see here are going to be the last time we see this for maybe a 7 to 10 day stretch. Daytime high values are going to be at the very warmest, minus 10 degrees starting on Friday. Take a look at these overnight lows. Minus 27 on Friday, so I imagine some extreme cold mornings will come in from Environment Canada. Stretching into the weekend forecast, we are going to see plenty of sunshine. Don't let that fool you whatsoever, though. Minus 19 is the warmest it gets Saturday, minus 17 on Sunday, so the sun is there, but cold temperatures are on the way.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
And as we take a look at the roads at this hour, nothing major to report for you. Of course, as we cruise just beyond 7 o'clock this morning, starting to see a little bit of traffic westbound and eastbound on the 417. No collisions or detours to report. We'll let you know if anything changes throughout the morning ahead. And continuing with throughout our show today, we're going to Orange Theory because it's 2026 and we need a little fitness in our lives. Let's take a look. All right, we are back at Orange Theory Fitness. First, we got a little bit of an idea about what it's all about. Now we're here in the room, and Wendy, you're going to put me through a little bit of workout soon. But first, I want to give people a little bit of an idea of what they can expect when they actually come in this room here.
Absolutely. So we are group fitness, but in a much smaller setting with a huge component of personalized training. So all of our coaches are really well trained to be able to provide you with customized options that make sense for you and your goals. The nice thing when people come in here, it's a little bit of everything. A little bit of strength, a little bit of power, a little bit of endurance. So you never have to think when you come in. You come in and we just guide you through everything.
Oh, that's the best. And some of the movements here that you guys will be doing, what are some? Because I see like a great water rower, a treadmill. What are some of the actual exercises that you do in here?
Yeah, we have 3 stations. We have our water rowers. Everyone loves the water rowers. So a great piece of equipment, not just for cardio, but to help build strength and power. We have our treadmills where members can decide if they want to power walk, jog, or run, again, through strength, endurance, or power. And then our floor stations, which have a variety of equipment, something different every day to keep them challenged.
I love that. That's everything you need in a workout with your strength and your conditioning. All right, before we get, what's this bad boy I got on?
That is our performance tracker. So we are science-backed, technology-tracked, a group fitness. So this is where we guide members through the different heart rate intensity zones to help give you a phenomenal workout based on your goals.
I love that, and you can see it right up there on the screen. So we'll show you different things, but I don't know, the coach hasn't yelled at me yet.
All right, team, popping those feet into the foothold and grabbing those handlebars in 3, 2, 1.
Good job, man. There you go. Thanks, Coach. You know what? I need a little break. We'll come back after some recovery. Well, not every retirement looks the same. We'll tell you how one retired couple decided to make a dream come true by opening up a very unique gift shop with all these items. We'll touch on their story and some of the items that are up for sale coming up right after the break. That's our Centennial Glass Skycam. It's a cold one out there, but it is going to get much colder as we dive into the weekend forecast. So bundle up. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Here are the big stories happening today on Your Morning Ottawa. An update to the blaze in Hintonburg we brought you yesterday. Ottawa Fire has now confirmed that an elderly man has died. Prime Minister McCartney is in Switzerland today for the World Economic Forum. It comes as global tensions lurk in the background. A new community group is hoping to address some public transit woes by making buses and trains free during off-peak hours. Now, a check on the forecast.
Oh, and temperature is still feeling a little on the cold side through the day today. We will see some sunshine, maybe a chance for some flurries rolling out into the afternoon. But this is just a taste of what's to come. Temperatures as we get into the weekend. Overnight lows, minus 28 degrees. Wonderful news for the ski and the skating rinks. What we are going to see, though, is a need to bundle up. Out on the roads, nothing major to report at this time. Just starting to see a little bit of slowdowns as we creep up just beyond 7:15 this morning. As anything changes throughout the day, we'll be sure to let you know. Well, Cherie and her husband Dan are both retired but decided to open up a gift shop in a beautiful church in Perth. The gift shop has been a dream of theirs for years, and she joins us now on the morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I love this so much because it's your husband Dan and you open up the shop. Tell me a little bit about the dream before we get into what you've brought today.
Well, we've always had like mercantile things in the family, and we thought we would, after we retired, we both got really, really bored, and we found this beautiful church that had been all redone, and it's connected to the manse, and it just was perfect. I can live there, and I can walk over and just, you know, help have people in the store. And it allows us also to keep our prices really low in a time when it's just too expensive for people to buy gifts. So we're trying to work with local artisans in our community, and it's just been amazing so far.
I love it, and we're seeing some of the photos there. When you walked into the church before you had the concept, and we just saw the beautiful finished product, did you have the envision? Is it how you envisioned it when you first walked in the church? You went, oh, I know how we can set this up?
It was just like coming home. It was, it's like the church had been waiting for us to bring it back to life.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, what are some of the items that you brought with you to highlight? Because you have so much here, and I love that you focus on Canadian artists as well.
We do. I would say 95% of everything in our store is from Canada.
Wow.
Yeah, we try to keep it local but the artists, I mean, we've got a lady that has an alpaca farm, and she does all of our like alpaca headbands.
And they're so soft.
I know,
Oh,
they are.
goodness.
Alpaca is great. And she also does like the pictures down here. She does it with felted alpaca fur.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
You know, that's so unique. Like,
It
where
is.
else would you find something like
and
that?
It's always going to be a one of a kind. No matter what she makes, you're never going to see another one like it. But it's absolutely amazing. We have soaps that are, we try to stay all natural. So we stick with soaps. We also have like natural oils from doTERRA. Beautiful lady Nora Ryan, she does those. We have my husband who actually does the carvings.
Is that what this is right here?
That is exactly.
So beautiful.
Yeah, so we can take any person's family name and make it last forever.
Well, it's so cool, right? Too.
Yeah.
So when Dan gets an order like this, what's the wait time? Like, all right, Dan, we got a couple of weeks. Is it a couple of days?
Usually, for that, if you're going to use epoxy, around 5 days.
5 days, okay.
Yeah. And then we also have a sublimation service, so we can put any image on a mug or metal signs.
I love that. Dan gave me a good head nod. He's to my left. He said, "Yeah, 5 days looks good." Yeah.
So we can take any image and put it on metal for you. We do lots of man cave signs. We do lots of signs for like
oh, come on.
Yeah, people are really doing these for their
like their movie rooms and whatnot.
Exactly.
Well, and it's, you know, one of a kind. You know, you get to make it like your own, which is so cool when you look at it, because you know, like, this is a unique piece of art that's in the home.
Right. We have Nature's Window. These carvings and stuff are for master carver out of Quebec, Roger Desjardins. And he has blessed us with different decoys, and we have all different sizes. We have even life-size decoys.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And I got to try one of these bad boys.
Yes.
What have you had here before we let you go?
We have creamed honey.
Oh.
Yeah, it is like crazy. Here's cinnamon if you'd like to try
Oh, I
some
most
cinnamon.
certainly would. And if people are looking to visit you because you have such a large array of items too,
yes.
Where's the best way to hit you as I dive into this beautiful cinnamon honey?
You can we're on Facebook, but and we've got a website coming that we're working on. So we're 1127 Perth Road, in between Franktown and Perth, and we'd love for people to come see us. We have an amazing Canadian artist. Her name is Colleen Gray, and it's the largest collection of her items anywhere.
And again, that's just one of the many things that you have. Congratulations to you and your husband on so much success. It's so great to see people live out the dreams, and you know what? Now you're not bored anymore.
That's right. Certainly not bored.
Well, congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Rosie, over to you.
It is National Alzheimer's Awareness Month, and there is a new podcast out there, and it is The Heart of It All, and it is taking matters of supporting seniors in our lives. And broadcaster Terry Hart brings her signature wit to the podcast, and we welcome Terry Hart to the show this morning. Good morning to you, Terry.
Hi, Rosie. It's so wonderful to be here with you. How are you?
I'm doing so well, Terry. Terry, I've known you for what? Over 20 years. You've been a broadcaster, radio and television. Now you're taking on a new medium, the podcast. Why is it? What compelled you to start this podcast, The Heart of It All?
Well, this came from a really personal experience for me, Rosie. My dad got sick. He had some vascular dementia after a couple of strokes. He got lost walking the dog, and the dog got him home. That was the end of 2023, and we lost him. He died August 1st of 2024. And in that time, I just realized how much of a gap there is in society around caregiving and taking care of our seniors. I was very much secondary caregiver to my dad. My mom was primary, and she's a retired nurse. She knows what she's doing, and things were still really challenging. And then after he died, realizing what my 80-year-old mom was being asked to do in terms of the business of death. And I just thought, we've got to do better. We've got to do better taking care of our seniors, and we've got to do better taking care of ourselves in these really difficult times when we lose somebody.
Terry, during the podcast, especially during this month, Alzheimer's Awareness Month, what have been some of the topics that you've covered for Alzheimer's Awareness Month that have really opened your eyes in terms of caregiving that you've learned?
I mean, certainly Alzheimer's and dementia. So if you look at it, dementia is what it is. If you look at, like, dogs are one category, and then there's all the different breeds of dogs.
Right.
Dementia is the category, and Alzheimer's is the most popular form, the most prevalent form of dementia. And there's over 770,000 Canadians living with Alzheimer's. And this is a disease, Rosie, that's often called a family disease because of how much it impacts everyone's life. So caregiving around dementia and Alzheimer's is really, really challenging for people. So, you know, we started off the month with Kathy Barrick, who works at the Alzheimer's Society, and the information and the amount of work that charity is doing for Canadians from coast to coast to coast is really incredible. If you are in this situation, really, the Alzheimer's Society should be your first stop. And we also had on a geriatrician, Dr. Amina Jabbar, who opened my eyes so much to how we should be looking at aging and decline and what it means, and some of the conversations we can be having as families and friends and loved ones in advance, and why early detection is key. There are new medications on the market. We should be treating Alzheimer's different than other dementias. So don't be afraid. Get diagnosed. If you think there is a problem, early detection can really be a game changer.
Terry, what has hosting your podcast, The Heart of It All, what has it taught you about yourself?
Well, I mean, I think that as the months go on, we just launched this in October, Rosie, and I think that as the months go on, I realize how much I needed to explore this myself. As you mentioned, I've been a broadcaster for over 30 years, primarily in entertainment. You and I both have talked to some really, really amazing, famous people in our lives. But I'll tell you, this is the most important thing I've ever done in my career. I'm hoping that we can build this so it is a resource for people going forward for years and years to come, because wherever you are in your life right now, at some point, I guarantee you, you will be touched by caregiving and it will change you, and you will want and need these resources. It is a blessing to be able to care for somebody, to be able to help somebody that we love. And that really is what caregiving is all about and what we like to talk about on The Heart of It All.
Terry, you are doing important work, and we're really glad that we can have you on the show to talk about your new podcast, The Heart of It All. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. Continued success.
Thanks so much, Rosie. New episode up today.
All right. Perfect timing. You can listen to the Heart of It All podcast on the iHeartRadio app. All right, coming up, if you are shopping around for a mortgage, Frank Napolitano from Mortgage Brokers Ottawa shares the most common mistakes people make. Here's a live look from our Skycam on George Street. We'll be right back. Good morning, come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
Yeah, happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm Will Aiello. Melissa is off today, so Rosie and I got you covered on the weather front, and we're going to be speaking with Frank Napolitano coming up, talking about everything you need to know about mortgages.
All right, we're going to get to your top stories right now. An update to the blaze in Hintonburg we brought you yesterday. Ottawa Fire has now confirmed that an elderly man has died.
2 firefighters carried the victim out, where another truck had set up a medical sector where they were ready. They started CPR immediately as soon as the victim was brought outside. They had oxygen ready and a defibrillator.
The resuscitation was initiated by the firefighter, was taken over by the paramedics who continued resuscitation efforts during his transport to the hospital, where unfortunately he was pronounced deceased later in the evening.
Crews responded Sunday night to an apartment fire on Armstrong, where they found a 70-year-old man in the bathroom of a first-floor unit, unconscious with severe burns. Paramedics were later called to the same location to treat a man in his 60s with smoke inhalation. The investigation is ongoing.
There will be layoffs at 2 federal museums here in the capital as part of the federal government's plan to reduce the size of public service. Officials confirm the Canadian War Museum and the Canadian Museum of History are implementing staffing reductions due to the comprehensive expenditure review and to cover its own structural deficit. The museums wouldn't say how many jobs are going to be affected. The Canadian Museum of Nature said that there would be no layoffs at its location.
Canadians spent more on groceries and eating out in December. According to Statistics Canada, the overall pace of inflation was 2.4% last month. But the cost of restaurant meals increased 8.5%. The cost of food brought from the grocery store rose 5%. Frozen beef up 16.8%, while potato chips and other snacks increased 7.9%. Some shoppers say the price increases at checkout have changed their habits, while others have been able to stomach it for now.
We don't go out to restaurants anymore unless it's just for breakfast once a month. Yeah. And people like my brother sometimes bring us groceries.
So how has it changed your habits?
Hasn't.
Okay.
Look at me. I'm eating real regular.
The December inflation figures were released just over a week before the Bank of Canada makes its first interest rate decision of the year. That comes next week.
Prime Minister McCartney and the Canadian delegation are in Davos this morning to pitch Canadian investment. That's happening as global tensions lurk in the background.
What people would want to see from Canada is talking to our allies, which we're doing, and making sure that we adopt the principled position.
Minister Champagne says Canada is weighing its invitation to U.S. President Donald Trump's Gaza Board of Peace, but won't pay to join. U.S. President Donald Trump is set to speak at the forum tomorrow. It comes as he says only the U.S. can protect Greenland.
Well, I don't think they're going to push back too much. Look, we have to have it. They have to have this done. They can't protect it.
And President Trump shared a text from French President Emmanuel Macron. It says, "We are totally in line on Syria. We can do great things in Iran. I do not understand what you are doing on Greenland." The president also reviving his 51st state rhetoric with Canada. This was posted to Trump's Truth Social last night. In it, the president showing his new version of America. This includes the U.S., Venezuela, Greenland, and Canada.
The big cleanup is underway after more than a foot of snow blanketed Ottawa over the past week. The city has begun operations to remove those massive snowbanks as motorists try to navigate the narrow roads. And for some, confusion over snow removal signs might be adding to the frustration.
When you see us put signs out that are yellow for daytime removal on a day, it means that snow is going to be removed the next day. And then when you see the red signs go up that day, it's happening that night. So we're always looking at like a 24-hour moving window when we go through there.
Until the snowbanks are gone, residents are being asked to watch the signs and plan ahead.
The Ottawa Hospital Foundation says that it has reached a significant milestone in fundraising efforts to help build the new civic campus on Cardling Avenue. The foundation has raised $396 million out of their $500 million goal, meaning that they are nearly 80% there. The original price tag was expected to be $2.8 billion, with a new hospital opening in 2029, but the design of the hospital, the cost, and the construction timeline isn't finalized.
And in that period of November, December, we had more than 6,000 individuals make donations to this campaign. There are elements of this new hospital that the government doesn't fund, specifically all of the equipment, all of the technology and innovation that goes in this new hospital has to be funded by the hospital. That's where philanthropy comes into play.
It also is not clear if the City of Ottawa will contribute $150 million in taxpayer money, which was originally proposed back in 2022.
We are getting a longer look at a new documentary on Paul McCartney's post-Beatles career. 1, 2, 3, Paul McCartney, Man on the Run, covers the ups and downs of his life after the Beatles, the formation of Wings, and his relationship with his late wife, Linda. The documentary starts streaming February 27th.
That's going to be so cool. I hope that that's one that everyone looks forward to, because you probably get so many hidden stories that maybe you haven't heard of over the years, with so many people already being fascinated with that career.
Yes, exactly. And looking at the family life too, to see one child, the next one, and his wife Linda, she was an amazing photographer. Died too early as well.
Yeah, I think there's going to have an amazing tribute in that documentary for sure. So I got to head off.
All right, then.
You got the weather duties. You can tell people it's going to be cold this time.
It's going to be very cold. It is cold right now. To start off your day here, we'll have partly cloudy to mainly sunny conditions this morning, but then we'll see increasing cloudiness into the afternoon. We are looking at the chance we could get some more flurries into the later part of the day today, but make no mistake about it, we are starting off very cold today. So we're talking about the future cast there into Wednesday, later part of the day into the evening. We could get maybe 2 to 4 centimeters of snow. That's what you're seeing there on the future cast into the later part of Wednesday. And for your wind, we'll have gusty conditions into the later part of the morning, into the afternoon, 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. We'll have some of those wind gusts reaching that kind of speed. Okay, so right now, here's where we're sitting. -18 in Ottawa, -21 in Pembroke, Montreal sitting at -14, Brockville -13. So needless to say, it's very cold out there, so you're going to want to bundle up before you head outside. And yes, it's going to get a bit warmer, but not by much. -10, that's our forecast high for today, which is about 4 or 5 degrees below our seasonal average. And in Kentville, -9, the high. Cornwall, look for a high of -9. Kingston getting up to -8, -10 in Petawawa. Kittatinny, look for a high of -11. Montreal, some sunshine in the morning, and then we'll see afternoon clouds, -9, your forecast high. Okay, so here's how it's going to look for the next 5 days for Ottawa. Pretty cloudy into the afternoon today. Then a good chance we'll get some flurries. We're expecting high -10 down to -13 tonight. So that's not too bad at all. In fact, our normal low for this time of year is about -18. And then it gets even milder on Wednesday, -7 the high. Looking like a good chance we're going to get some flurries and possible accumulation, maybe 2 to 4 centimeters on Wednesday. Chance of flurries on Thursday. Nice and mild for you, -5, then down to -18. Arctic air is going to really start to push into the region Thursday night. Look at Friday, -13, that'll be the high. Saturday, good side, we get some sunshine. And on the cold side, we're not getting above -19. That'll be the high, and then down to a bitterly cold low of -28. And pretty much so far this morning, no major slowdowns on your roads. At 7:40, we're looking at pretty usual traffic buildup, but no major issues.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
Well, if you're thinking about getting a mortgage in this brand new year, there are some things you might want to avoid. Frank Napolitano from Mortgage Brokers Ottawa joins us this morning. Good morning to you, my friend.
Morning.
And I think this is a great topic. You know, we often do, do's and don'ts. Today, we're focusing on just the don'ts.
Just the don'ts. And there's lots of don'ts because it's amazing how many people will drive 6 blocks to save a 1/10 of a cent on gas and don't shop around their mortgage. It's just, to me, it's always amazing to hear people say, I don't know, I think I'm good with what the bank offers. No, there's better out there. There's better out there, and your bank will probably do better too. So
I love that. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is not getting locked into some fixed rates. So what's the don'ts when it comes like that?
Well, again, I mean, when your renewal comes up, you need to act on it. You can't wait until after renews, because some banks will put you automatically into a 6-month closed. Some might put you into a 5-year closed, and you've lost your negotiating power now. So, but if your renewal is 4 or 5 months away, also don't fall for you should lock in now, especially considering most people have an interest rate, if they took it 5 years ago, starts with a 1, maybe a 2, and today they're in the 3s and 4s. So I think you want to wait it out until closer to maturity date, especially since the likelihood of interest rates going up is pretty slim. They're more likely to come down over the next 3 or 4 months than go up, so you're better off to wait.
So what are some major things, because I'm sure you've seen so many different cases. Can you highlight a couple of don'ts when it comes to the renewal where they signed right away, and then probably when you look months down the line, they probably lost thousands of dollars?
They did lose thousands of dollars, and they do, because they listen to their bank and they trust their bank, and they don't get that second or third opinion. And I've always said to them, why would your bank tell you now you're at 1.59 until May? In what world does it make sense for you to lock in now and give up that 1.59 for the next 3 months? It doesn't make any sense unless in theory, the only time it would make sense is if interest rates go up in the next 3 months, but nobody's calling for that to happen. So why would you lock in now? Why? Because the bank is looking to retain you, and they make a little bit of extra money. By now, you're not paying 1.59 for the next 3 months, you're paying 4%.
Right.
So it doesn't, again, do what's best for you. The other things on renewals, when you get a renewal, when the bank calls you and they give you a rate 3 months in advance, and again, the reason I say that is because they want you to renew today and give up your rate for the 3 months. Don't give it up. Tell them to lock in the rate and hold it for you until maturity date, then that makes sense. But again, I mean, the bank will be more aggressive as you get closer to your maturity date. So if your maturity date's in May, they're not going to give you the best rate now. You're going to get the best rate in April, because now in April you can go shop your mortgage around. The closer you get to your maturity date, the likelihood they think that you might be going somewhere else, so they'll sharpen their pencils.
And I think it's always important too, right? Just have those other conversations, like with yourself, other people, because why lock in before you shop around a little bit? There's no harm, only gain that you can get from doing that. Right. I want to talk about taking advantage of equity on this front.
There's a lot of people that, whether you bought a house 5 years ago or whether you just did your mortgage 5 years ago, in 2021, we saw a lot of price growth on homes in Ottawa. The first half of 22, we saw some price growth. Then we saw them go the other way around, but not to the degree that they went up for that year and a half. And over the last 2 years, it's been pretty steady. So you've got some equity in your home. If you're carrying high interest debt or your payments are too high, a lot of people are actually, they don't need additional money, but what they're concerned about is the fact that their rates are 1.59 and they've got 20 years left on their amortization. Now the rate's going up to 389, 399. So therefore, their payment goes up more than they can really afford. So it's going to change their lifestyle. One of the options that people are doing is they're asking if they can increase their amortization from 20 now to 30 years to keep that payment the same. But most banks are saying, nope, if you renew, here's the rate, and you're going to keep the same amortization. And if you do it as a refi, we're going to charge you more. But you should be able to avoid that cost by going shopping and going somewhere else. So do your homework, but if you've got a high interest debt for sure, you definitely want to move it into the equity, take advantage of the equity in your home.
Well, especially right now in 2026 where everything just seems to cost a little bit more and people are starting with those renewals with a big difference in those interest rates. Frank, we always appreciate your time giving us some, not do's, but don'ts this time around.
Well, yeah, the don'ts, but again, the don'ts are going to keep thousands of dollars in one's pocket. So.
And that's what we do. Frank from Mortgage Brokers Ottawa, always appreciate your time.
Always a pleasure.
All right, we're going to head outside. Here's what not to do today. Don't leave not bundled up. Centennial Glass Skycam showing the bitterly cold temperatures, but it's about to get even worse. That's why Frank's heading to the West Coast, right?
I'm going to Vancouver for a conference. Yeah.
There it is. He knows what he's doing. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Your Morning Ottawa. Danny Donders is an Ottawa tarot card reader who specializes in tarot readings at events and parties. She doesn't use tarot cards to predict the future. Instead, she uses the cards to tell stories. She's here to talk to us today about how you can use tarot cards for mindfulness, to inspire creative thinking, and to help make sense of an increasingly chaotic world. Good morning to you, Danny.
Good morning, Rosie.
Good morning to you. So we're not talking about pulling a card out and then going, this is your future.
That's right.
This is, you'll take this step, you'll go here. You're talking about telling a story.
That's right.
How do you do that?
So tarot traditionally was, next Tuesday you will meet a man who will give you a sandwich. We don't, if I could predict the future, I wouldn't be here talking to you. I'd be on an island beach somewhere.
Okay.
I'd have the lottery numbers. It's more about looking inside, about tapping into your intuition. It's a little bit about like corrective lenses for your intuition, using the cards, the symbols, the numbers, the traditional meanings to build a little bit of story to understand yourself better.
So you do this at parties and events. Why is tarot card reading so popular, you think?
I think, like we said in the intro, we live in a very chaotic world. People are looking for meaning. We're always looking for ways to make ourselves better. And tarot is sort of a way to investigate your spirituality, your creativity, to look at things maybe that we don't look at enough in our everyday lives.
All right. So why don't we take a look here at the tarot cards? So what do you want me to do?
So we're going to pull 3 cards, and we're going to tell a little 3-card story about the energy that's around you today.
Oh,
so the first card is, what is the energy that's around Rosie
What is
today?
the energy around me today?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go right here.
Okay.
So?
It's upside down. So I don't read reversals. We're going to turn it right side up. This card is about, there's a little bit of battle energy going on. You're fighting for what's right. You've taken the higher ground, a little bit of advocacy maybe, looking out for those who are less fortunate. Okay. You are taking the higher ground.
Put that right here?
Yep. That's the energy that's around you today.
That's the energy. Okay.
Now, what is your obstacle or opportunity or challenge?
Obstacle, opportunity, or challenge. Yeah. It's so fun when you look at the card, you're like, which one should I pick? But you know what? I'm just going to go like
You know what? No matter which card you pick, it's the right one.
It's the right one. Yeah. So I need to show you and then show camera, right? Boom.
Okay.
And there you go.
So your obstacle is juggling multiple priorities. There's a lot of things going on. You're trying to keep a bunch of stuff in balance. This is Pentacles, so it's usually the realm of practical things. Yeah. So with a job like yours, I bet there's a lot of multiple priorities, things like that. So the advice from the universe, if you're trying to do the best thing, you're taking the higher ground, trying to juggle all these incoming priorities, what is the advice from the universe?
What is the advice, the all-important advice from the universe? Okay, here we go.
The moon. So this is our first major arcana card. We listen to the major arcana because they have the messages about big life decisions, about the crossroads that we're in. The moon tells us to be careful because not everything is as it seems. Imagine a scene, imagine the market in daylight. It's very clear, you can see everything. Imagine the market under moonlight. There's shadows. You can see, but you can't always see clearly. So be careful. What you're seeing is what you're actually seeing and not just full of what you want to see.
I like that. You're giving like a general picture here.
Yeah.
You know, not just, like you said, next Tuesday you'll meet a tall, dark, handsome stranger, and there you go. It's a general idea of what you need to do here.
Yeah, I like
that's so neat.
readings with advice.
Yeah, okay, that is really good. So that's what you do.
Yeah.
You get, what is it, energy?
Yeah, the energy that's around you today.
Okay.
What is your obstacle or opportunity or challenge? And what is the advice from the universe?
Now, Danny, if folks want you to come to their event and do a tarot card reading, how can they get in touch?
I would love that. I have a website. It's curiouscrone.ca, and I'm also on Instagram under the same thing, curious.crone. And I love meeting people and teaching them about tarot, so I'd love the opportunity.
Danny Donders, that was so much fun. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming by today. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back after this.
Here are your milestone celebrations for Tuesday, January 20th. We got a happy 12th birthday to our beautiful daughter, Sadie, an incredible big sister to her two brothers. We're so proud of the kind, strong young lady you are becoming. Love brothers Elliot and Theo, mommy and daddy. If you have a milestone, celebrate it with us. Kids 13 or younger, 100 or more, or wedding anniversaries 50 or more, email us your morning Ottawa milestones at ctv.ca, and we would love to have you on. We'll be right back.
It's Tuesday, January 20th.
A resident was found inside the bathroom of the same fire unit, unconscious with severe burns.
An investigation is underway after a weekend fire in Hintonburg that claimed the life of a 70-year-old man.
As the federal public service gets trimmed, staff at 2 Ottawa museums are learning that some of their jobs are going to be cut.
And I took a trip to Sophia Cafe, where coffee meets vintage cars. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Good morning, just after 8 o'clock. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
Yeah, happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm Willow Yellow. I can't wait for that segment with the coffee and cars. I've been itching to see what that's all about, so I'm so glad you went there.
It's such an amazing vibe. I cannot wait to present it to you all. That is coming up in just a few minutes, but first off, we're going to get to today's top stories. An update to the blaze in Hintonburg we brought you yesterday. Ottawa Fire has now confirmed that an elderly man has died.
2 firefighters carried the victim out, where another another truck had set up a medical sector where they were ready. They started CPR immediately as soon as the victim was brought outside. They had oxygen ready and a defibrillator.
The resuscitation was initiated by the firefighter, was taken over by the paramedics who continued resuscitation efforts during his transport to the hospital, where unfortunately he was pronounced deceased later in the evening.
Crews responded Sunday night to an apartment fire on Armstrong, where they found a 70-year-old man in the bathroom of a first-floor unit, unconscious with severe burns. Paramedics were later called back to the same location to treat a man in his 60s with smoke inhalation. The investigation is ongoing.
There will be layoffs at 2 federal museums here in Ottawa as part of the federal government's plan to reduce the size of public service. Officials confirm the Canadian War Museum and the Canadian Museum of History are implementing staffing reductions due to the comprehensive expenditure review and to cover its own structural deficit. The museums wouldn't say how many jobs are going to be affected, but the Canadian Museum of Nature said there will be no layoffs at its museum. Canadians spent more on groceries and eating out last month, according to Stats Canada. The overall pace of inflation was 2.4% in December. Stats Can says the federal government's move to take the GST off some items for the 2 months in mid-December of 2024 dropped prices for dining out, alcohol, and more. But with the tax holiday done, those prices rose this year. Some shoppers say the price increases at the checkout have changed their habits.
It's very hard to shop the way we used to shop. We just noticed the beef today. We haven't bought a round roast or a roast of beef in years.
There was some good news, though, for motorists. Gasoline prices fell nearly 14% in December compared to December of 2024.
OC Transpo has faced its fair share of criticism from frustrated riders. Now, a new community group is hoping to address some public transit woes by making buses and trains free.
Top demand is to make the buses free in off-peak hours. All right, and the second top demand is to buy more buses. Those that are on the buses say it's too expensive, it's too unreliable.
The group, Free Transit Ottawa, held a launch party last night. The group would also like to expand the number of bus lanes, add 50 neighborhood routes, and reform the Transit Commission, replacing half with members elected directly by the public in transit unions. They estimate the changes would cost $125 million a year. The impaired driving trial for an East End councillor got underway at the Ottawa courthouse this week, with Matthew Luloff entering a plea of not guilty. An Ottawa police officer testified that he was arrested 18 months ago at his home in Orleans after driving back from Blues Fest and charged with 1 count of impaired driving and 1 count of having a blood alcohol content over 0.08 2 hours after operating a vehicle. The driver who called 911 to report the impaired driving also testified and says she saw Luloff's Jeep swerving across the road and driving erratically, hitting the curb like a bumper car and almost hitting her. In court yesterday, the female driver said, quote, "It was terrifying the way he was driving," adding, "I could have been dead or paralyzed. His driving scared me." At least 2 other witnesses are expected to testify in this case.
After last week's storm, city crews are full steam ahead on snow removal. As large snowbanks continue to line residential streets across the city, crews are working through neighborhoods to clear the buildup of snow.
So looking at the snow accumulation we have, the weather upcoming, we're probably looking at a 2-week cycle period to remove all the residential and arterial roadways in the downtown area.
The buildup is also raising concerns for access for emergency vehicles on some narrow streets. The city is urging residents to watch for snow removal signs, plan ahead, and be patient as the crews continue their work.
The full lineup for this summer's Escape Festival is out. The music festival is happening at the RA Center grounds at the end of June. Some of the big names include Tiesto, Grizz, and Fisher. Tickets go on sale Monday morning.
Carnival season is underway in Bolivia's capital in a quirky way.
La Paz launched 40 days of carnival with the traditional exhumation of cucumber. It's a ritual around the rebirth of the city's iconic mischievous character.
Hundreds of people came out for a mock funeral procession carrying Pepino's purple coffin through the streets, led by the municipal band and the mayor.
Lots of color, I love it.
Yeah, very vibrant, I think is the word to use there.
I love it.
And you know what? I feel like we would probably love a little bit of that weather right now, especially as we look ahead into the weekend forecast, because we're going to be on the cooler side where I think that everyone out there might be a little chilly.
Okay, you said it's going to be a lot cooler, but what's a good side here? A little brighter, though, right?
A little brighter. You got it right there, Rosie. We are going to see plenty of sunshine as those temperatures fall, especially into the weekend forecast. And with the canal officially reopening, I don't imagine that it's going to close for quite some time because our daytime high values, as we get to Friday, single digits, are no longer available for about 10 to maybe 12 days. So we are into a cold stretch. This morning, minus 18 degrees is what it's like right now, feeling closer to minus 23, minus 24 degrees when you factor in that wind chill. Winds remain calm, but they are expected to continue to pick up over the next few hours. A little bit of sunshine right now, and then more and more as the hours trickle on by, with just a chance for some flurries arriving this afternoon. But we will see lots of sunshine continuing, especially as we head into the weekend. So a chance for some flurries, but then as we get overnight and we start thinking about Wednesday throughout the entirety of the day, we could see significant snowfall, anywhere from about 2 to 6 centimeters during the day, maybe another 2 to 4 at night. It depends on that system as it moves through. If it just shifts a little bit north, we could see another maybe 4 to 6 centimeters. So models right now showing between about 5 and 10 centimeters from the time we wake up tomorrow and continue into Thursday morning. So the snowfall begins early Wednesday, continues to hammer the capital in many parts just south of us, and in northeastern Ontario. So more snowfall on the way. Mother Nature not holding back over the last couple of weeks. As we get through Thursday into Friday in the weekend forecast, we start to see the return of the sunshine, but then temperatures significantly drop, especially overnight. Here's a look at what we could see over the next 24-hour period. So as we get through the day on Wednesday, we start seeing that accumulation, so a little bit more into the Kingston area. So if we have any traveling to do over the next couple of days, just know that the roads are going to be a little bit slow, with temperatures being very cold. So in Ottawa, maybe 6 centimeters, but again, as that model starts to move, we could see a little bit more or a little bit less. So plan for around 6, but maybe up to 12, or just a little bit beneath that, but a little bit more into the Kingston area. So plenty of snowfall. Snowmen very happy this time of year. The kiddos out playing at recess as well. Wind speeds continue to pick up over the next couple of hours, but then losing some strength as we roll through tomorrow. So snowfall enters the region, but wind speeds damper down, which is definitely nice because that combination can definitely reduce visibility out on the roads. As we get into Wednesday morning, wind speeds around 15 kilometers an hour, so nothing to be concerned about. Daytime highs today. This is the warmest that it's going to get throughout our Tuesday. -10s in Pembroke and Ottawa. Cornwall at -9, as well as Brockville. Taking a look at Petawawa, -10. Tremblant, -12, but oh so happy with all the snowfall that we've seen, with more on the way. But I've been talking about the cold temperatures throughout the show, and if you're just joining us now, here's a look at what we can expect into the weekend forecast. So the next couple of days, not too bad. Still very below seasonal when we take a look at our daytime high. Thursday, -5 degrees. This at this time is the last single-digit daytime high value that we're going to see from Friday going through next week, even potentially into next weekend. -27 Friday, -28 degrees on Saturday. Extreme cold warnings likely to come into effect. Let's take a look at the roads at this hour, and nothing major to report as we take a look at your Tuesday morning commute. What we are seeing, though, is a chance for some flurries continuing into the afternoon, and we do have a collision on the Nicholas westbound ramp that has the right lane closed and is causing delays. Now, if we turn our focus to eastbound on the 417, seeing some buildup beginning at Moody until about Bronson, and then heading west on the Queensway, slowdowns at the 174 split until Parkdale. Westbound on the 174, slowdowns at 10th line until Montreal Road, so a little bit of extra time on your morning commute. All right, so throughout the morning, I've been visiting Orange Theory, located in Barrhaven. First, we got a taste of what it was like, and then I went through a little bit of a workout, and we ended with our final segment. All right, so we're just getting the last minute pump here because we're about to say goodbye. Oh, you know what? We'll get back to this though, Mark, because what I love about Orange Theory Fitness is the longevity aspect, because that word is thrown out a lot right now. But what does it mean to you in this facility?
Yeah, it's a huge buzzword in the fitness industry right now, longevity. It's getting more out of life, right? Living a longer, more healthy, more vibrant life. What does that mean? It means being able to walk upstairs at work, not being so out of breath, right? Or crossing the street, or playing with our kids, getting more out of the time we have with our kids, being able to play, no aches and pains. So that's longevity. And what we'll do here with the cardio element is we're going to improve our VO2 max. And you know what that means is improving our lung capacity. Everything starts there. Our brain, our heart, everything, from the amount of oxygen that gets into our body. So I'll be supplying that engine with more force. Let's put it that way.
And I love it too, because when people come in, I think they'd be really surprised about how quickly things start to feel better outside of the gym when you can incorporate this type of training.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it has a big impact on our brain, right? The fitness industry, we're always focused a bit more on like the appearance or the fat burning or the toning the body, but has a big impact on our sleep, on our endorphins, our feel-good hormones, lowers our cortisol level, feel less stressed, less anxious, right? So it's just a really healthy way to feel better in our day-to-day, be more productive at work too.
I love that too, yeah, especially when you start your day that. If anyone's looking to get involved, what's the best way? Because right now, January is a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, it's our best promo of the year, $3 a day, unlimited access at any of your 4 locations in Ottawa. There's even a location in Almer right now. And we got our Transformation Challenge starting January 26th, where we got cash prize winners, lots of fun. Hope we see lots of people come in, and it's going to be bumping.
Oh, I love it. Well, thanks for having me today, but we're not done. We got to get a quick pump again before we leave. We start with the pump, we end with the pump.
How many are we doing, Will?
Let's do 432. Still need a little more time to bust out some of those reps. Thanks to the Orange Theory Fitness team. 2026, the year of a better you. Taking a peek through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam and still feeling a little cold out there, so bundle up. Hey, maybe go for a run today. Get that fitness in. Stay with us, friends. We'll be right back.
Today's Snow Report is brought to you by Camp Fortune. Let us teach you to love winter.
So I know it might be cold out there, but plenty of snowfall over the last couple of weeks and plenty more on the way. Camp Fortune, 4 of 6 lifts open, run 16 of 25. Let's take a look at the rest of the ski hills around the area, shall we? Looking pretty good. Edelweiss is closed to the day today. Mont Cascade, 50% with runs 15 of 21 open. We got 100% at Vorlage and Calabogie Peaks, 3 for 3. It is a perfect time to hit the slopes.
Let us teach you to love winter. We offer ski and snowboard lessons, a vast variety of runs, and let's not forget après ski in our new pub 1920. See you on the slopes.
Well, we are back with another Beat the Bill segment, and today we are tackling ways to slash those grocery bills with tricks and coupon strategies that anyone can use. Today, we got Jennifer Geigel to join us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And I love this too because coupons are such a great way that you can take a look at what one bill says one day and the next to another.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Walk me through your theory before we get down to the nitty-gritty parts.
Well, first of all, anybody can do this. These are all tips. People always say, I can't find coupons or I can't find the deals. So I'm here to talk about it and how people can do it, because I talk about it all the time, like on my YouTube channel, on my TikTok, and people always ask the question, where can you get coupons? Where can you, where can you save? How do I find out about these deals? Because I literally get food for free. And people are like, how do you do that? So,
and it's so great to have you here, because now at a time and ever where everything just seems to be more expensive, there's so many cutbacks. So this is a way to alleviate some of that. And we're actually going to show how things have changed over the past 10 years, which is so wonderful too. So walk me through your system when we take a look at that. Because this is what it looked like in 2015 with your receipt.
Yeah.
And then 2025, and there are significant differences here.
Yes, absolutely. So before 2015, like we weren't couponing as much as we are today. Like, I mean, and even some of the apps that are available today weren't there, in the past. So where some people say, I spend so much more now than I used to, us it's the total opposite. We actually spend much less. So as you can see, we actually saved about $600 a month in our grocery bill from 2015 to 2025. So it's really changed. Where we see the biggest, changes are in produce, for example, dairy. Produce, we actually use an app called Flash Food, and you can get like food that is close to the best before date. You know what I mean? So maybe, the apples aren't as crispy or things like that, but you will get them at like sometimes even 50, 80% off because they're a little bit older. So if you're willing to make that sacrifice, and I mean, and a lot of it is still very good,
right.
Like if the peppers are a little bit wrinkly, you can use that in a stir fry, or you can use that in a spaghetti sauce. It won't matter.
Yeah, there's ways to manipulate it, to hide it in some of the dressings and things that we do.
Exactly, exactly. So that's one of the ways that we significantly reduced our bill, especially in produce. The other thing is in the dairy, this is where the couponing came in, because there's always coupons for cheese, for yogurt. This is something that I wasn't really aware of as much before. And if you mix that with your apps, for example, if you have any kind of points apps on your phone, maybe you're part of the PC app, PC thing where you do get points for your purchases, and then you can use those points to actually get free groceries later on, right? So there's the Scene points, the Moi points, the PC points, there's all kinds of points right now.
And I think it's amazing that I point out once again, 2015, And inflation continues to rise over the past 10 years.
Yes.
And you were able to look at these bills comparably and save about $600
yes.
from today when everything just seems to cost a little bit more. But not only that, but you also snag some freebies.
I do. So this is just one example. So I did bring a box of Frosted Flakes. So it's funny. But these were actually on sale one day at the No Frills. And this, I actually got over, I think it was like 30 boxes of cereal. So yes, we kept some for us, but I did donate some as well because they were actually paying me 50 cents to take this home. So with the combination, so they were $5.50. And then I had a $2 coupon, making them $3.50. And they were offering 4,000 PC points,
oh my goodness,
which is $4. So I did roll my points, and that's something people don't understand that you can do. But if you do have a significant amount of points in your account, so for example, in this case, I was earning 20,000 points. So at the cash, I just said I'd like to redeem 20,000 points. And in that case, I left with 5 boxes of cereal for free. And I did that like multiple times.
This is so amazing. I'm going to call you the queen of saving, okay? This is an official term that I'm going to give you. Thanks for coming in here, because you know, this advice today is going to help so many people maybe rethink about the way that they save with the points, with the cutting down, with the coupon. So Jennifer, really appreciate your time this morning.
Absolutely. It was super fun coming, so.
Oh, so great. Now I got to get my hands on some Frosted Flakes. I was a Trix guy growing up, but I will divert for today. We're going to take a peek outside through a sky cam on George Street. Still some snowfall out there and colder temperatures this week. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Your Morning Ottawa. She is known as the Lady Gaga of math education, also known as the math guru. And we've got Vanessa Vicaria here, and she's on a mission to make math as cool as a Taylor Swift song. And she joins us right now. She's in town for a conference. So good morning to you, Vanessa Vicaria.
This is the best.
This is so much fun. Vanessa, now I met you
we don't even know.
Years ago.
Yeah.
I don't even know, but I just know you as the math guru. And then I saw that you were coming into town for an event, and I went, oh, can you come on our show and show us how to make math cool again? And so I'm so glad that you could do this. Let's give folks a little bit of background on who you are.
Sure.
Okay, so how'd you come into math and be known as the Lady Gaga of math education?
Okay, well, it started with me failing grade 11 math twice in high school. And I then had the most incredible experience with this teacher named Eva at a school called Sola in grade 12. And she showed me, like, I was always told I wasn't a math person. Yeah. You know, I was this creative kid. I wanted to be a rock star and marry Keanu Reeves. Still my dreams to this day. In a band, not married to Keanu yet. And I was always told, well, like, people like you, like, you're more of the creative type. You're more this, that, the other.
That's what I was told, too. Okay.
Well, and as an athlete, I mean, that's a whole other thing,
there you
right?
go.
Like, there's all these stereotypes. Anyways, I have this amazing experience where I end up with a 96% in grade 12 math, and I love math, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like, being creative is not a barrier to STEM or math. It actually is like an additional skill you have. Anyways, I made it my life mission to be like, I want to show every single person who was told they're not a math person that they are just as capable as anyone else. Okay. And here we are.
Here we are. You're here for an Actua conference.
Yes.
Just quickly, what is that about?
Yeah.
I know that it's not open to the public, right?
Yeah. Well, Actua is an incredible organization whose goal it is to make STEM accessible to youth across Canada. And they just do the most amazing outreach, the most amazing work, and really they're here to remove the barriers, just like I'm talking about, that prevent every single person from feeling like, hey, math and science, that's something I could do if I chose to.
Oh my gosh, and there's Jeremy Hansen too, who was at one of the conferences, which is really cool, Canadian astronaut. Okay, you wrote a book, Math Therapy, and talk about how you make math cool, and maybe give us some examples.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. The thing with math is, it doesn't need me to make it cool because it is cool, but it does need a little rebrand. It has really bad PR, let's be honest. Like, we have framed math as kind of boring. You know, we all know about people's math trauma in schools.
Yes,
and
it's
so
a thing.
It's a real thing. Like, if you know, but the truth is, every single person is capable of doing and loving math. You don't have to, but I want every single person to have the choice. And the goal of this book is to help every person build a better relationship with math. That can be through a variety of things, but the first thing is all about mindset. It's like this idea of what skills do you already have that are mathematical. You know, I brought up that I'm in a band before, and that's why I'm known as a Lady Gaga of math. Yeah,
look at you.
Oh my gosh,
There
I'm
you
wearing the same shirt. I did not even plan. See, I'm wearing a math shirt on stage. The whole math is brat, and you know, the whole vibe is. Lady Gaga is all about not having to sacrifice who you are in order to do the things you love. You should not have to choose between being logical and mathematical and being creative and artsy. We want people to bring their whole selves to the field of mathematics because that's what makes math so cool.
Okay, Vanessa, we have 0 time left. Can you just show me the math?
Let me show you.
Yeah, the really quick math. I'm so sorry, Mike. Let's just do it real quick.
I'm going to show you something very cool.
Really quick.
If anyone wants to multiply a digit up until 10 by 9, you're going to give me your hands. You are going to put down the finger of the number you're multiplying by. We are going to do 9 times 4. Put down your 4th finger on your left hand.
4th finger on your left hand.
Okay,
Put it down.
Put it down.
Okay. 9 times 4. Okay.
The number of fingers to the left of that hand, how many do you have?
3.
How many fingers do you have to the right?
I have 6.
36.
Come on.
You can do it with any number.
Okay, wait, let me do it one more time. Okay.
Which one? What do you want?
So 3, 9 times 3. Okay. So put that 3 down. Yeah. We have 2 fingers left, so that's 2. Yeah. And then to the left, and then to the right, we have 7. 27.
Come on. And it's so cool. And like the coolest thing about that, there you go.
Oh,
math is
my
cool.
gosh.
Why does that work? Who knows? Go talk about it right now.
There
Figure
you
it out.
go, Vanessa Beccaria. It's so fun to have you on the show. If people want to get in touch and reach out to you for your math tutoring.
Find me everything at the Math Guru website, Math Therapy. Look up Math Therapy or the Math Guru, and you will find me. Thank you so much. Thank you for wearing something that matches my book.
Yes, there you go. Thank you so much, Vanessa. All right, we'll be right back after this short break. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello. Melissa's off today, but we got you covered for the next half hour.
Absolutely. We're going to get straight to our top stories. An update to the blaze in Hintonburg we brought you yesterday. Ottawa Fire has now confirmed that an elderly man has died.
2 firefighters carried the victim out, where another crew, another truck had set up a medical sector where they were ready. They started CPR immediately as soon as the victim was brought outside. They had oxygen ready and a defibrillator.
The resuscitation was initiated by the firefighter, was taken over by the paramedics who continued resuscitation efforts during his transport to the hospital, where unfortunately he was pronounced deceased later in the evening.
Crews responded Sunday night to an apartment fire on Armstrong, where they found a 70-year-old man in the bathroom of a first-floor unit, unconscious with severe burns. Paramedics were later called back to the same location to treat a man in his 60s with smoke inhalation. The investigation is ongoing.
There will be layoffs at 2 federal museums here in Ottawa as part of the federal government's plan to reduce the size of public service. Officials confirm the Canadian War Museum and the Canadian Museum of History are implementing staffing reductions due to the comprehensive expenditure review and to cover its own structural deficit. The museums wouldn't say how many jobs are going to be affected, but the Canadian Museum of Nature said that there would be no layoffs at its museum. Prime Minister McCartney and the Canadian delegation are in Davos this morning to pitch Canadian investment. That's happening as global tensions lurk in the background.
What people would want to see from Canada is talking to allies, which we're doing, and making sure that we adopt the principled position.
Minister Champagne says Canada is weighing its invitation to U.S. President Donald Trump's Gaza Board of Peace, but won't pay to join. U.S. President Donald Trump is set to speak to the forum tomorrow. It comes as he says only the U.S. can protect Greenland.
Well, I don't think they're going to push back too much. Look, we have to have it. They have to have this done. They can't protect it.
Trump sharing a text from French President Emmanuel Macron. It says, "We are totally in line on Syria. We can do great things in Iran. I do not understand what you are doing on Greenland." The president also reviving his 51st state rhetoric with Canada. This was posted to Trump's Truth Social last night. In it, the president's showing his new version of America, which includes the U.S., Venezuela, Greenland, and Canada.
The big cleanup is underway after more than a foot of snow blanketed Ottawa over the past week. The city has begun operations to remove those massive snowbanks as motorists try to navigate the narrow roads. And for some confusion over snow removal, signs might be adding to the frustration.
When you see us put signs out that are yellow for daytime removal on a day, it means that snow is going to be removed the next day. And then when you see the red signs go up that day, it's happening that night. So we're always looking at like a 24-hour moving window when we go through there.
Until the snowbanks are gone, residents are being asked to watch the signs and plan ahead. When in Rome, eat as the Romans did.
Academic and bakers have teamed up to recreate the pan de via. It's a snack eaten by Roman legionnaires thousands of years ago.
Think of it as an ancient energy bar. It's made from buckwheat, flour, sour cherry jam, and honey. The snack is filling and, wow, it keeps you going.
I mean, you just kept going there with delicious new items. I went, yep, I'll take that. That sounds good. That sounds good. Always in that area, too.
Eat as the Romans do.
Yes, and we enjoy the snow as Canadians do, because more on the way, and temperatures feeling a little bit cold through the day today, but it's a small taste of what's to come as we enter the weekend forecast. There will be plenty of sunshine, but temperatures feeling cold. Minus 18 right now, wind speeds picking up through the day, and then calming through tomorrow. We will see some sunshine with a chance for some flurries arriving this afternoon, but then potentially as the system starts to move into the capital right here in Ottawa, we could see maybe 5 to 10 centimeters of some snowfall from Wednesday, continuing into Thursday morning. So models changing right now, likely at least 5 centimeters through a 24-hour period, maybe a little bit more, though, as we continue to accumulate over the next 48 hours. This is the warmest it gets today. Temperatures a little bit below seasonal, minus 10 here in Ottawa. Tremblant, minus 12 degrees, minus 10 in Petawawa, but conditions like Tremblant ski hills in very good shape with the amount of snowfall that we've seen. The canal reopening because temperatures will remain cold. Minus 7 and then minus 5 degrees. After this, minus 5 on Thursday. That's the last single-digit daytime high we see from Friday, continuing into next week with these overnight lows. Friday, minus 27. Saturday, minus 28. Likely to see extreme cold warnings come into effect. The risk of frostbite will be high. The trade-off, though, at least we see some sunshine.
Weather brought to you by Yetgendorf Rashid. Experience, knowledge, and a commitment to excellence.
And on your roads this hour, continuing to see the backups as we are beyond now 8:30, so a little bit slow out there. Pack some patience out on the roads.
In your morning kitchen, Ottawa, we want you to buckle up as a new cafe has rolled into town. Sophia Vintage Motor Cafe on Bank Street offers a unique experience. I paid them a visit and spoke to the man behind it all. This is gorgeous. Sophia Vintage Motorsports Cafe. Hassan.
Exactly. You got it. Thank you.
This spot is so unique. I gotta ask you, where did the idea come from to open up this gorgeous cafe?
Yeah, so, I traveled all around the world, went to, Italy, Montreal, California, Tokyo, all these places, and I tried to figure out what the car culture was like. And I had this challenge. I had these cars that were stored in a box somewhere in a storage space, and I figured, no one gets to enjoy them, no one gets to see them, and I don't get to share them. So I was like, I need a space. How do I make sense of a storage space, but then I can bring people together? So the whole purpose was to create a community where I can share the cars with coffee. And the original idea came from Jerry Seinfeld. Coffees, Cards with Comedians.
Yeah,
so he started that series.
Okay.
That's where the whole thing started about 25 years ago. So it's like, it's bringing people together, and it's the car. I always tell people, it's the metal that brings the humans together.
I love that. Talk about the cars that you have here in the cafe. What makes them so unique?
So I have a collection that I've geared over to the last 20 years. And what's happened was I try to pick some really rare kind of historical pieces that have the cars that tell a story. For example, the 300 SL Gullwing, which we'll maybe see later, is in one owner. It was used to drive Jacqueline Kennedy in Expo 67 in Montreal. And then now at 2022, Mercedes-Benz called me. They said, can you drive Lewis Hamilton?
Okay.
So I was a driver for Lewis Hamilton to kind of full circle. So there's that story. And it's a one-owner original car, always in Montreal. One of the, originally delivered in 1956 with a cold winter package for Montreal. Think about 1956, right?
This is beautiful. The cars are works of art. Now it's time to talk coffee. Oh, wow. Hassan, let's have a little taste. How smooth is that? And I love the mugs.
Thank you.
This is beautiful. Can we talk about your vision of this cafe? Because there's something special going on here. The coffee, the desserts. What's on the menu?
So let me tell you about the coffee, because it's so funny because your background is Montreal. So the challenge with coffee is you have the hardcore Italian Montreal St. Leonard, right? And then you have the third wave, really light, fruity type of coffee. And I said, how am I going to get something that's going to please everybody?
Okay.
I went to Tokyo, Vancouver, Italy, Greece, all these other places. I tried, and I went to Lisbon, and I went to Melbourne, and it has the largest number of coffee shops in the world per capita. All in a row, 90 coffee shops in a row. So I went in, I tried, and I kept. So we came up with this guy in Montreal who's just a roaster. All he does, he's been roasting for 30 years at a Dorval. And he's got this special little formula, and it's just so smooth. And I said, create something specific for me. So we added 10% Mexican beans to bring it a little bit of a chocolatier, smoother.
Very, very smooth. The desserts are something special. Tell me a quick story here.
My whole vision here was, so this is Tiffany's cookies. So she's a young, 20-year-old girl that has a full-time job in the government, but loves to do this on the side. So she's trying to build her business so she could be doing this. So she's been fantastic. She's coming here all the time. Every time I say I run out, she cooks it, she brings it.
This is really nice.
So simple. We actually cut the sugar down a little bit because we kept getting feedback. I'm like, let's tone it down a little bit. So she did a beautiful job. And that's what's beautiful about working with local people, right? We can customize it. So she does that. And then this is corobietes, melo macarona, Ekme Kadaifi. This is all from a Greek lady, Sophia, unbelievable woman. Her and her daughter basically make this for the Greek church, for the Greek festival. This is all you get. And they have a commercial kitchen that they've started, and they're doing this out of their commercial kitchen.
So you've got this community connection here in the cafe with the desserts. The coffee is amazing. That machine is simply a work of art. It adds to the work of art that you have that are the cars here. It is just a beautiful space. The desserts, absolutely amazing. The coffee?
Thank you.
Can I just say, yeah, cheers, man. This is so nice. I know we don't really cheers with coffee, but wow, this is so nice. Hassan, thank you so much for inviting us in here.
I'm sold. Sign me up.
You know, we were there yesterday on a Monday, late morning. People kept coming in. It's a space that is so welcoming, and Hassan, who created it and founded this cafe, he is a people person. You see him in there, go say hi. I mean, he'll come say hi to you. He is passionate about what he does. He really wants to bring the community together, and that's what he's doing there, because people go in there to sip on coffee, to have a nice dessert, to meet with one another, and he's planning some community events within the cafe in the coming months So he's unstoppable. The space is amazing. It's so welcoming, Will.
You can tell his passion through it as he's talking with you, right? He just loves what he does. I love everything about that segment, and I will be going there this weekend.
Yes, you will love it. You will love it. All right, do you know of a great chef or a restaurant you think we should feature on our Your Morning Ottawa kitchen? Let us know. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. We'll be right back after this short break.
With the new year here, what can we take to support our physical health? Lifestyle expert Nikki Anastaskis joins us to share some Canadian-made products that can help. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, let's find out what you suggest that we could take to support both our physical health.
Yeah, so I want to start off with Organica. They provide a few different options for protein. So for those of you that might not know, protein is a vital nutrient that provides energy, builds strength, and supports overall wellness. It helps build and maintain muscles, give tissue and organs their structure, and can be a source of energy when carbs and fats run low. Organica offers multiple easy ways to add protein to your day. Depending on your routine, they have the Whey all-in-one protein, which delivers 20 grams of protein per serving, along with vitamins and minerals, fiber, and probiotics to support digestion. And then they also have the all-day protein hydrator, which I made at home. It's a clear, refreshing option that mixes with cold water and provides 20 grams of protein plus electrolytes to support hydration. They're both really simple, convenient options that fit into your busy morning routine and on-the-go days. You can learn more at organica.com, or your local retailer will have that.
And for those trying to manage their weight this year, what would you suggest?
So I want to talk about a product by PharmaFreak. This is called Ripped Freak 2.0. It is a Health Canada approved natural health product by a company that's been around since 2009. It is formulated to support weight management goals when used alongside a balanced diet and an active lifestyle. What's really special about this product is it contains sinatrol, which is a patented citrus polyphenol complex that comes from fruits like grapefruit and sweet orange. And this ingredient is part of the product's licensed formulation and has been studied for use in weight management support. So this is a really great natural option for adults looking to complement their healthy lifestyle habits. It's easy to use in capsule format with breakfast and lunch. Just follow the label directions, and it should be used with exercise and a healthy nutrition plan. You can learn more at pharmafreak.com for this one.
And lastly, what item do you have for healthier snack choices?
Yes, last but not least, we have an incredible snack option by Made with Local. This is a protein and fiber cookie that is convenient snack option made right here in Canada. Each cookie is made of protein. Each cookie is made with locally sourced ingredients and provides a source of protein and fiber to help keep you feeling satisfied between meals. It's a really great grab-and-go option for those busy days when you want something quick and wholesome without feeling like you're reaching for a sugary snack. To purchase, you can visit Amazon, Walmart, Loblaws, and more for a lot of these items that you see on the table. But this one as well, you can learn more at madewithlocal.com. So I hope you guys get your hands on all of these and get a head start on your health goals and reach them this year with all these amazing products.
Thank you so much, Nikki.
Thank you.
What makes your community special? Join us next week for Your Neighborhood, showcasing the people and places that make the National Capital Region shine.
Your Neighborhood on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
The most important part of any journey is to arrive safely. Hi, I'm Patricia Bowl.
And I'm Stefan Keys from CTV. Distracted or impaired driving can have devastating consequences.
Hey, it's Ashley.
And Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94.
Always plan for a designated driver, and please keep your phone down.
Everyone can help keep communities safe.
Drive safe. Brought to you by the Ottawa Safety Council. For more information on road safety programs and services, visit ottawasafetycouncil.ca.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed
with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
Welcome back to Your Morning Ottawa. We're back to wrap up the show. You do have some breaking news for us here?
Yes, into our newsroom. A small earthquake was felt near Quebec, Ontario, early Tuesday morning at 4:55. Earthquakes Canada has confirmed the slight movement. At this point, we have no reports of damage, none to be expected. But if you were in that area in the city, you might have felt the shake. So that was at 4:55 this morning. So there was a little something.
Okay, we were busy running around at that time getting the show ready. So
That's right.
there
Yeah.
you go. All right, and we're going to take a quick last look at your forecast here.
Oh, and Rosie, it is about to get very cold into the weekend forecast. So when you see those nice single-digit daytime high values Wednesday and Thursday, soak it all in. -7, -5 is going to feel like tropical paradise when you take a look at Friday and Saturday's overnight lows. So -27 on Friday, -28 degrees on Saturday before we factor in the wind chill. I imagine Environment Canada will release some extreme cold warnings potentially Friday evening, continuing through the weekend. And that -5 degrees that we see on Thursday is the last time for maybe a 7-10 day stretch that we see a single-digit daytime high.
Okay, we're getting ready. You warned us. There you go.
Bundle up.
All right, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you right back here tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.